throughout the show.
Do the clap. I got to get my glasses off.
Get them off.
It's my Showtime face.
Get them off.
Oh, this sound is much better this time around.
Nice.
Are you sure it's recording?
I'm watching it. I can see it's recording from here. If I see anything awry, I will jump on it.
Just take it away from him. Under 4 left. The barn is alive again.
Yeah, it's a sports show. Got me in my hormones. All gas, no brakes. Score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get foreclosed. I've been in my head, but it's not about a T3. I like to learn, but there's nothing you can teach me. We all got opinions. About to hit a tree and
you know, where you just
jealous of this. This city champ.
You couldn't.
The champ is here.
Ba, ba, da, ba. You couldn't even wait. You couldn't even wait for me to cue this up for you. But I don't blame you. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, you are listening to The Sports Show on the greatest radio station of all time, the CJSW 90.9 FM at Sports Show Podcast. That's the Instagram, 2 S's, Sports Show Podcast. The Sports Show TV on YouTube, of course, Spotify, Podbean, and iTunes. But please subscribe to the channels. Give us a like. Give us a follow. The last Instagram got hacked. We're trying to build this thing back up. We got to keep Amy in business.
Got to keep her happy. That's right.
Mitch for all of you listening, unfortunately, you can't see. But if you're on YouTube, you'd be able to see. Hold that thing up, Mitch.
See
ladies,
the banner.
And gentlemen,
the banner.
Introducing to you the reigning, defending, two-time, what's that say? CSMBA champions, the Division J, Greek, Hellenic, what's the actual team name?
Team LS.
Team LS, which is Greek for Greek.
Yeah, that's right.
Mitch.
Champs.
Hanjas.
Feels
How did
good.
it feel?
You know, it feels good to be a champ again. It's been a few years since we hit it. Get in there, crush it, do our thing. So for everyone listening right now on CJSW, the live show, ladies and gentlemen, you're talking to a champion. Unlike the Calgary Flames, you're talking to a champion right now, right here.
Give it to him, Mitch.
Hey,
you deserve it.
It is what it is.
And let's make one thing clear.
Yeah.
Number one, I don't see the Jokers winning championships
Not
as
yet.
of late.
You guys are a little behind on the champion. It's been a couple years.
We're heating up.
Mind you, here's where I outsmarted you guys. At my age in the 40s, I went to the younger generation, the 20s. I said to the boys, hey, you guys need a father figure. I'm here to help out. And they're like, okay, Grandpa. And I jump in, and I was proud of my role. I did what I needed to do.
And that's the thing. That's the thing is that you're not only just a player.
Yeah.
You are also the manager, the coach, the brains behind the brains. You're crazy. You're almost like the Vince McMahon of hockey.
I don't want to say exactly like that, but close. Like, in all honesty, the Elefantis brothers, two good boys, kind of got this league, got this team back up, and called their buddies and said, "Hey, let's get a couple of guys." And they called a couple of the veterans and said, "Hey, you guys still interested?" Two of us out of like how many said, "Yeah, sure, we got the time to do it."
Love it.
And it was fun. I'll be honest, it's nice to roll with the young crew a little bit here and there, just for the. They bring out that young, inspiring
I think you
thing.
need this.
I did need it, but you know what? Can I say something to the young guys? You guys know I love you. You needed me just as much as I needed you.
It's a give and take, right? Because the young guys let you get back into the game,
right?
And then, but you're also you're the cool cousin right now.
I'm the
They're
cool
looking
uncle.
up to you.
Yeah,
but it's also a way for you, to get. To keep your eye on the beat and see what are these kids doing right now, feeling young. Look, rec sports is one of the greatest things that anyone can do.
Yeah.
Whether you want to call it the beer league, whatever it is. Why? Because it's, I look at it as a sanctuary. It's time away from the world where you get to just have your jokes. And, it's funny. We used to call this podcast Real Locker Room Talk before we joined the CJSW. And the reality is not to say that it's in any negative connotation, but what I will say is having locker room talk, having your friends and your compatriots and everyone around you, teammates, whatever it is, whether it's your book club or whether it's going to a sporting event, it's important.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's the best.
Speaking of events.
I was just going to say.
Speaking of Vince McMahon.
Are you segueing the segue?
Speaking of 2 times.
2 times.
Ladies and gentlemen, roster alike, fraternity abroad, we bring to you breaking news. We came, we saw, and they want us to do it again. We are happy to announce that Dungeon Wrestling, the promotion here in Calgary, started by the Hart family. Speaking of segues of next generation that Mitch has with Team Hellas, there's the next generation of Dallas and Jade and Blade and company bringing in Dungeon Wrestling. We had the pleasure, the privilege to do color commentary alongside our boy Mike at Sunday night's main event, his podcast as well. We've had the privilege to be called again April 7th at the Pavilion. Doors open at 5 for the meet and greet. Wrestling starts at 7 p.m. Mitch and I will be there commentating live. We're proud, we're happy, and we can't wait.
Right. I'm pumped. I'm excited because, look, the first time we were a little nervous. I think we did a good job. We're still waiting to hear like the full feed so we understand what we did right and wrong. But this one, now we got a feel for it. Watch out.
Not only do we got a feel for it, and there's another twist.
What's that?
Not only can you see the event live in person, but by the sounds of it, there's gonna be a live feed, live pay-per-view.
What?
For the event as well.
Pardon me?
I'm not joking, Mitch.
Wow. This got bigger than we thought already. This is great.
This promotion is getting excellently executed in front of our very eyes.
Exactly.
Live at the Pavilion.
Now, Dimitri, most people that chime in at, 11:30 and 8:30 respectively on CJSW to listen to the live show, they want to talk a little bit about sports. What's right next to the Pavilion here in Calgary?
Funny you should mention that. Next to the Pavilion, if you walk out the doors, is a little place called the Calgary Saddle Dome.
That's right, which houses the Hitmen, the Wranglers now, the Roughnecks, and the Calgary Flames. With 13 to mid-15 games remaining in the regular season, our Flames here in Calgary, they're a little behind. They're not in a wild card spot as of right now. They're like that friend that comes late to the party. You know what I mean, Dimitri? That friend that we all have that's like, I'll be there, don't worry, I'll show up. And sometimes you don't have the heart to tell them, yeah, you were a little too late, you missed all the fun. Well, that's what's happening with the Flames. They're like, oh my goodness, I'm late for the podcast. I got to get up and get there right away. The Flames right now are looking out. They are not in a playoff position. They're not in a wild card position. They are, as of last night on the Friday, St. Patty's Day. By the way, happy belated St. Patty's Day.
Happy belated St. Patty's Day. That's right.
They're 3 points behind a playoff spot. And who's right in front of them? It's the Winnipeg Jets. And who's right below them, 1 point behind, is the Nashville Predators. Dimitri, question number 1 for the CJSW sports fans that are listening right now, live on live. Are the Flames going to make the playoffs? Question number 2.
Okay.
Who do you blame if they don't? Question number 3. Blow it up or just reformat it again for next year?
Ooh, hot question.
Hot.
Live
Here.
at the Pavilion. No. Okay, listen. Number 1, I'm going to stick to my guns that the Flames will not make the playoffs, albeit if there was ever a time, Calgary, that you wanted to turn up the heat, no pun intended,
right.
It is now when you're 3 points behind.
It's a good time.
Okay? Yeah. So this is a good time.
Good time.
You still got some games. It's still maneuverable. I'm going to stick to my guns and say no. I can't. You can't rely on a team that plays so good against Minnesota and Boston, then loses to Anaheim when they need a game.
Yeah.
I can't. Okay. So I'm going to stick to my guns and I'm going to say no. If they don't, who's to blame? In my opinion, the players are to blame again on this one because look, you guys can say whatever you want about Sutter. Maybe it's time for him to go. Maybe he's overstayed his welcome, blah, 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 blah. But the guy knows how to coach hockey. The guy knows how to coach a team. And let's be honest, the guy knows how to coach a team that doesn't have extreme superstars on it. Mm-hmm. It's how he took Calgary in 2004 to the playoffs in the finals. It's how he won 2 Stanley Cups. Albeit, the LA Kings were a fantastic team. But let's be honest, when you look at Carter and Richards compared to what a Draisaitl and McDavid is, we're talking apples and oranges. So he knows how to put units together, you guys. So it's not him. It's the players not gelling, probably fighting with each other. The whole team had the rug pulled under them. And to answer your third question, you don't blow it up yet, okay? Mm-hmm. Because You made your moves.
Right.
Your 2 best players left.
Right.
You brought in 2 guys to fill in the gap.
Okay.
And you still have a good enough team. I'm looking at the defensive lineup, Mitch, and I like it. I'm looking at the goaltending tandem. I like it. I'm looking at the forwards. I don't love it, but there's pieces there that you can build off of. So before you go and start blowing everything up, I really believe that the Flames have that 3 to 4 year window before they start blowing things up.
Sure.
That's my take.
I'm going to go with, at the beginning of the season, go back to the archives and find out. I chose the Calgary Flames to go to the Stanley Cup, not just finals. I also said they'll win the Stanley Cup, for goodness sake. So I'm going to stick to my guns because that's what I'm doing. As much as I've been giving them a hard time over the last few months. Boys, you're right there. Please show up. Just get there. If you get there, I actually believe you guys have a chance because I think you're a good enough team. You're right. On paper, they got all the pieces. To your point, though, who's to blame? Well, the guy that I'm going to blame is John Gaudreau because I've been doing it since July. And then a report comes out this week. I don't know if you saw it. He had it all formalized. Him and Brad Treliving had it all ready to go. He took a last little car ride with his wife, calls back. This came out this week. Calls back, crying, saying, guys, I can't do it. He got wifed. The wife said, hey, listen, Calgary's a little too far away from home for me. I can't do it. He got wifed. So I blame John Gaudreau for not putting his foot down, really, to be quite honest with you. But with that being said, I do blame Sutter. I don't blame him because he's a bad coach. He's just lost the room. And, like all of us that are listening to this right now, or a majority of us, maybe you either work for somebody or you work on your own. Nothing worse than bad chemistry in the office space. And I think whatever reason that is, it's happening, and I think that's why. Because you can't replace 22 players, but you can replace one coach. And maybe, Daryl, as much as I like you, and I like the way you coach, I'm that kind of guy. When I won the Division H basketball championships, two-time, it was with hard love. That's the way I coach too, Daryl. I get it. But the reality is some people like it, some people don't like it. So I say that. And then with reformatting, I do agree with you. You can't reformat. Because you do have all the great pieces. Yeah. You just need somebody else yelling and screaming and putting everyone else in line. So overall, Flames to go to the playoffs. Daryl, you're the problem. No, don't reformat. There it is.
Well, we couldn't be further apart.
Hey, welcome to the sports show. Here, CJSW 90.9.
And if you're just tuning in to the CJSW 90.9 FM, listening to the sports show, you're going to say, wow, these guys have really crafted to be on opposite sides of the argument. No, we don't. We don't play that game.
We usually actually agree most of the time.
Yeah, you know what? We do agree most of the time. Yeah. We also agree to disagree. That's what makes us a great partnership. Mitch, I want to touch on something. I know you probably want to roll on because we got half hour today. But to that, I just want to say this. I would agree with you that you let go of Sutter if he's lost the room. If you had leaders on the team.
Agreed.
There's no leader on the team.
Agreed.
So how can you give the team to a room like that?
Hey, listen, this is just the way of the world now. So yesterday, by the way, shout out to Trails West Hockey. Went out and watched family hockey, or if you want to call it, kids hockey. Dude, there was over 100 people at the arena. Great vibe. Loved it. Enjoyed everything about it. But here's the thing.
Were they playing the Coyotes?
The Coyotes were playing the Coyotes. And the funny thing is, I'm going to tell you, it's funny because I noticed the team I was cheering for, the one Coyote team, no one was wearing the C. Saw a lot of A's, saw no C. The C's a big deal. I'm with you. But you're either a C or you're not a C. It just is what it is. So I'm sorry, but that's Brad's problem to find a C.
To see
that's not
or not to see.
Exactly.
That is the question.
Here's the Sports Show Power Play list. Now remember, it's voted on a curve. At number 5, it's maybe one of the hottest teams in the NHL. It's the Florida Panthers.
I like where you're going with it.
And you know what? Hey, Kachuk, 4th in scoring in the league. Hey, Calgary, just saying. Ooh. At number 4, it's Connor McDavid. Yeah, player and teams are on this.
Oh.
Connor McDavid now, 13 games left at 131 points. He has 30 points more than the second-place guy, who happens to be his teammate, Leon Draisaitl.
Doesn't that make you feel terrible about yourself that you're the line mate and you're 30 points less? Like
nuts.
Like that's
nuts.
Not good for the contract.
At number 3, it's the LA Kings. This LA no-names team. I am telling you, watch out for this team. Mm-hmm. At number 2, it's another team that's gone on a heater. Hey, Calgary, maybe you could learn a little something. It's the Minnesota Wild at 7-0-3 in the last 10. They got a little bit of everything, and their goalie wants to fight.
Punching their ticket.
Beautiful. And at number 1, with what is it? A 51, 11, and a 5. 107 points from the regular season. You need 62 for the all-time record. This team is at 51. They got 12 wins. They need 12 wins to get it. It's the Boston Bruins. I think the Bruins pull it off, man.
I don't think they do.
I think they might.
I think it's too tight. Unfortunately, they lost a few games in there, but they're still number 1. And I believe the only team that has officially clinched the playoffs.
Yes.
That's got to be
How can you not?
That's nice.
Real quick, last thing in the hockey. I said it a second ago. McDavid's got 131 points. Now everyone's going, maybe get that round 150. But with 12 games left, your number 1 player, 30 points ahead of the second place guy. He's won the art all day, every day. He's won the heart. He's won literally every trophy. Do you sit him a little bit now?
No. You don't do that.
How bad do you feel if something happens to him, though?
I feel terrible. I feel absolutely terrible.
Horrible?
Super horrible.
So sit him.
No, don't sit.
You can't sit him.
No, you can't. You have to let these guys. You don't start and stop them. This is game time. He's a special player. It's a game time season.
You don't start and stop him.
I want him at 150 points. Mitch, he has won the Art Ross. He has won the Hart. He has won MVPs. He's won everything.
Right.
Except
what?
The Stanley Cup.
Yeah, but you need him to win it. If anything happens to him, man, what a season. Listen, I'm cheering for him. I'm actually cheering for him. I want to see him do what is so hard to do, which is win the Stanley Cup, but be from bottom to the top, be the number 1 player all year long.
Fair enough.
All right, we go to the NFL. It's NFL free agent time. Lots of movement this year. Jimmy Garoppolo leaves San Fran, goes to the Raiders. By the way, maybe the greatest move of all time. I mean, Garoppolo in Vegas. For anyone that knows what Garoppolo looks like, this city's about to blow up. This city's gonna blow up.
Kiara Mia or whatever. Now you're
the whole city's on fire.
Now you're going to home court. I wonder what he's doing at the end of January every year.
Marcus Mariota, Atlanta quarterbacks on Philly. Orlando Brown, big offensive lineman with KC, going to the Bengals. Baker Mayfield found a new job in Tampa Bay. That's kind of cool. Here's a guy that was on his last leg. Last couple of games of the season, gets a job and he's going to take over from the MVP, the GOAT of all time, Tom Brady.
That's amazing.
Jalen Ramsey's going back to Miami.
Who's his recruiter?
I know, right? He's a good handler.
That's a good agent.
Yeah, send him over this way, please. And lastly, but not lastly, it's the one we got to talk about. It's Aaron Rodgers. Ladies and gentlemen, me and Dimitri, if you don't know, you're going to know. We're the 2 biggest Green Bay fans you've ever met.
Shareholders, by the way.
Of course. However, the one thing we also agree on is the fact that Rodgers has been taking some liberties on the team the last few years, and we're not very happy. So what does he do? He goes into a dark room for 4 days. He comes back out and says, hey, Green Bay, I know you gave me $50 million last year. I know you guys wanted me to win one more championship. I'm sorry I couldn't win one game to get you into the playoffs this year. I'm taking my talents, and I'm going to the New York Jets. Green Bay turns around and says, that's great. We have to release you. We haven't done that yet. Now the Jets are going, wait a minute. We thought you said you're okay, Spider. What's going on over here? Dimitri, are you happy about Aaron basically airing out his laundry and saying, I'm going to New York? Or B, does Green Bay play the hardcore mom and dad move and said, you ain't going out tonight, son?
Oh, this is great. This is great. And you know what? I'll tell you what I love out of it, because as the years have gone by, look, yes, we are huge Packers fans. I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan. Mm-hmm. I really am. But it's been evident from even the last year, the McCarthy days before, and then when LaFleur took over, that this guy's the biggest prima donna, and he was the biggest detriment to the team. Double-edged sword. One of the best quarterbacks all time, arguably the best throwing quarterback of all time. A lot of people have him there. Yes, he's won a Super Bowl in Green Bay. Yes, it's been a pleasure to have him on the team. But yes, it's been hard to watch a guy kill the team at the same time when you got these greats like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning who know how to pull the teams together. And I love what the Packers are doing to him right now. I do, because what they're doing is they're making him walk through the thorn bush to get out of the garden.
Love it.
And I am happy because Aaron Rodgers has handcuffed this team for the last 4 years, from the contract signing to the I don't know if we'll be back to I don't like the coach to bring this guy back. Like everything and anything. Him and LeBron James should probably like have a dark room franchise together, because these guys, I'm sorry, are cancers to their organization. I love it and I love it. But it's great to me because it's almost like, you know, this to me is like a real husband and wife thing, right? Where, you know, like as husbands, you know, I come up with a plan, but I just forget to tell Tamara.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden it's like, Tamara, what are you talking about? I told you that me and Mitch do the podcast on Fridays now. And they're like, you never told me that.
That's right.
Well, fine. You want to do the podcast Fridays? No problem. I already invited your parents over for dinner, so now you have to make a decision. Well, you can't do that. You know this is, and it's just become this one thing after the other.
I agree. Hey, New York Jets fan. 2 things. Number one, what's with the going after our quarterbacks every single time? Now, you can have them. I mean, Brett Favre, he wanted to go. I was okay with that one because he saw that he wasn't wanted anymore, so he's like, I'm out of here, right?
Yeah.
Secondly, for a guy like Aaron Rodgers, that I've said this before on the pod, he's going, I'm my own man. You're going to the same team that the guy that you've been trying to replace for all those years went to. You look silly. And secondly, New York Jets fan, here's the thing. Anytime you go into a new relationship and there's demands at the very beginning, have fun. Randall Cobb, Beckham Jr., I want these guys. Who the heck are you? We're about to just go get you. Now you've stapled us. Not only does Green Bay want all these draft picks, and rightfully so, they should go and get number one. You're 4-time MVP, Aaron. Thank you very much for always telling people that. And we're now about to get it. You also are now saying, I need some of these guys because they're my boys and I want them on the team. Yeah. Well, guess what? I want to be 6'5" and 3-time Stanley Cup champion. But it doesn't always work, does it? Aaron Rodgers, what's up, man? What, you know, Dimitri? I'm all good with a guy being cocky and can back it up like Aaron Rodgers can. But this is like too much. This is too much. At least LeBron, and this is me about to defend LeBron. This is weird. At least when LeBron left, he left on his own. He never said, I need 20 guys behind me. He'd go to teams with 20 guys. But he never said, I'm bringing 20 guys. To walk in, like I said, into a relationship and be like, okay, well, I need date night 4 times a week, and I need this, and I need that. This is, hey,
but
Jets fan,
we're watching the sports version of 90 Day Fiancé.
Yes,
it's like, sorry, you want me to come home from Greece? No problem. Listen, I need the green card.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna need the red carpet rolled out. I need a job right away. Oh, by the way, you know, my cousin Spiros has to come as well.
Yeah.
You got to bring my mom and dad. They need living care. My yaya or my grandmother. This is, I love it, right? And so the best, but to me, this is where that phrase, revenge is a dish best served cold.
Exactly.
The Packers, I love it because what's coming out with reports now?
Yeah.
I love this.
What?
They're far apart.
Oh, yeah, of course they are.
Now they was done deal, we're ready to announce. Now we're really far apart.
Yes.
And you know what I'll tell you, you know what would make me the most insanely happy person of all time?
What's that?
This, to me, as a Packers fan, would be the greatest thing ever.
It would be nice.
Sorry, Aaron. We couldn't deal you this year.
Yeah.
We'll deal you, but you got to sit on the bench.
Oh.
And we're willing to pay you 1 year of $50 million to sit on that bench. No.
Yeah, okay.
I want you to watch Love play, and we'll deal you when we deal you.
It's not the worst thing.
That would be, to me, the great. It won't never happen.
It's not
our
that
money.
Would
be.
Well, it is our money.
Actually, it is. Yeah, it is. One share of it's our money. But could you imagine?
Yeah.
If that guy had to do. And you know why?
Yeah.
Because he was. No offense, like the thing with Brett Favre, and I know we're sticking on the Packers. We've got to move on here. But the thing with the whole Brett Favre is Aaron was never short of choice words,
right? Of
being inconsiderate to how Favre felt, where it's like, why are you guys doing this right now?
Right.
The kid will get his time. It's poetic justice.
It really is. You know what else is poetic? Rapid banter.
Ooh.
Researchers find that over 13 million pints of Guinness are drunk worldwide on St. Paddy's Day. Seem high or seems low?
That's a lot of Guinness.
Luck of the Irish. Selena Gomez is the first woman to reach 400 million followers on social media. Do you think Justin still follows her?
Absolutely.
I know, he told me that. Incognito mode. Great debate. Best player in Packers history. Bart Starr, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Reggie White.
Reggie White.
Golf is looking to make a standardized golf ball. Like the idea or bad idea.
Isn't it already standard?
Aren't you going to kick it anyways? Matt Ryan was released by the Indy Colts this past week. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Sorry, who?
It's not Ryan, it's Ryan. German scientists named a fungus-killing bacteria after Keanu Reeves. Cool, not cool.
It is the nature.
It's so cool. Keanu Missins is what they
Really?
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it, I guess.
Keanu, explain that again to me.
Last one that came through the wire last night. This one's for you, Swiss Army Larry. Last minute. It's Ben or Aaron. Who's the true Hall of Famer?
It's not Larry.
You know what? Leave Larry alone.
No, I'm not going to leave him alone. That hurt.
No.
That hurt.
He was right. Listen, Larry, I'm all about, reality. And you're right. Because when we are the first ones to jump on him when things happen with San Fran. So I respect
Yeah,
him.
but he does it to himself.
It's true.
He does it to himself.
It's true. He does. It's pass or fail. Here we go. I said to you guys earlier, John Gaudreau, reports came out this week that he was about to sign with the Flames, took a last-minute car ride with the wife. She turned around and said, no, I don't want it. He calls the GM back crying, says, I'm sorry, I can't do this, I can't sign. It's the honey-do list. Here we go. Garage, cleaning up, pass or fail?
Pass.
Yeah, you know what? I love cleaning the garage.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And then when the garage is clean, you're like, yeah, yes.
We all have them. It's the honey-do list, pass or fail. Mowing the lawn.
That's a pass.
That's a pass.
Yeah, and I would say, a little more often than usual.
How about cleaning the gutters, pass or fail?
I'm going to go fail. Just hire a professional. You can't have that liability on the books.
I just don't, I really just don't want to do it,
Look, there's some jobs that, let's just face it, we're not good at. Hire a professional.
How about this one? Go and get the prescriptions that you got to pick up and other stuff, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
right.
Pass. It's a team effort.
Hey, no, it's a fail. I'll tell you why.
Really?
Because you're always going to come back with the wrong things.
Oh,
and I get in trouble all the time. Why'd you get this one? Why'd you get that one? Why didn't you say this? Why didn't you say that?
Yeah, but hold on a sec, Mitch. That's also your fault as well because I asked for pictures.
I'll
Send
tell
me
you
a
this.
photo.
How about this? I don't want pictures, and I just don't want to go do it. You go do it. You know what you want. I'll do the other thing that you don't want.
Okay. I don't know why you're yelling.
I get upset.
But you're acting like I gave you the list.
Setting the table.
Yeah, pass. I just know how to do it all those years in the restaurant business.
Okay, last one. Last one. It's the honey-do list. Here we go. Cleaning out the kitty litter.
Fail.
Fail is right.
What's the cat doing in the house anyway?
Exactly. We don't even own a cat.
Oh boy. Well, speaking of cleaning the kitty litter, we got to clean up and get out of here pretty quick. It's only the half-hour show right here on the CJSW 90.9 FM, The Sports Show. That's right, at Sports Show Podcast, The Sports Show TV on the YouTube, Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show, episode 251. One for the books. Shove it in the locker. Hit the showers.
Boom. CJSW 90.9. Love you guys.
Love you guys too. Man, this was fun. This is a fun episode. I hated my rapid banter this week.
P.S.
I was off.
I'm two-time. Say it.
Two-time
Champion.
Feels good though, right? It's like when you win, you're
listen,
like,
it just feels good. It feels like I accomplished something.
You did. But you did though.
But we did.
So what position you play?
Oh, I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere you don't want to be. That's the answer to that question.
The Division J Missionaries.
Ooh, that's a good name for next year. Not bad. I like it.
Mostly you don't know me when it drop, then I'm mostly what they bopping. You can say what you got when it's Tuesday, I be locked in.
CJSW, we're Saved by the Bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast.